It's time! It's time! It's WWE time!
Alright guys, it's that time to get step in the ring with the greatest faction in podcast history. Just Freakin Wrestling, the JFW podcast, hosted by Travesty.
I'm Dizzle J.
Guys, Dizzle J came back.
I'm back!
He fucking came back. He's like, well, you know, maybe I should actually come and do what I'm supposed to fucking do. I don't know. So he showed up.
I should pretend like I'm on the team.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Really live up to that 33%.
Yeah, gotta work on that 33.
Yeah. But as you can see, Dally's not here with us this week, but she should be back next week. Work.
Is Sentinel still trying to fight us on this bullshit?
You know, I really don't know. Because I just got a message from her saying like, hey, just let you know I'm not gonna be able to make it there today. Okay. Something came up, and I'm like, well, I don't know if it's a Sentinel thing. I don't know if it's a personal thing. Just a hey, I can't make it. Good chance it is Sentinel.
I'm gonna blame Sentinel.
He's a dipshit like that.
I'm gonna blame Sentinel.
He's gotta be. He's a mouth breather.
He's probably still mad we booed him out of the ring.
God, yeah. No, it's the greatest fucking thing in the
world. That
world.
was awesome.
Yeah. But guys, we are here. We're here to do another episode. We're going to talk about the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view that happened this past Sunday. Now, obviously, we're going to talk about Raw and Smackdown, AEW, NXT, and Impact Wrestling. Not a whole lot going on this week when it comes to pro wrestling. Just going over the results and everything. We do have SCW coming up at the end of the month. I want to talk a little bit about some of the other independent wrestling shows that actually got canceled. I kind of want to talk a little bit about that and how this scare from the coronavirus is actually affecting the pro wrestling world. But before we dive into any of that, I just want to remind you guys that JFW is brought to you by Audible.com. And if you're a big fan of stories and history and stuff just like I am, you're just really not a big fan of reading those stories yourself, well, Audible.com is the best place for you to go. One-stop shop for all audio books. And because of us here at JFW, actually at Freakin Studios itself, Studios. If you go to audibletrial.com/freaknet today, you yourself can get a 30-day free trial plus a credit to your first book purchase just by signing up.
And there's more books than just wrestling. Who knew?
Who knew? Who really cares?
Nobody really cares.
No. Learn about the wrestling history first. If you're listening to this podcast and everything, you should know the history about pro wrestling because we know some stuff.
We have
an idea of like what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you yourself could also learn the history of wrestling if you just go to audibletrial.com/freaknet today.
That's so good. You do that so well. Oh, man. So how's it been, T?
It's been good.
Yeah?
It's been good. How are you?
Not too bad. I like the product placement.
What, this thing?
The product placement, yeah.
This thing right here?
Yeah.
Freaknet Studios?
Freaknet.
Tell me how annoyed someone's going to be by that.
Oh, I'm sure somebody will be.
Right?
It's not going to be me. I have 3 kids, man. It's going to take a lot to annoy me.
Guys, the Elimination Chamber just happened this past Sunday and everything. I want to go through the results, talk a little bit about it. You had a chance to watch pay-per-view, right?
I did.
Awesome. And if you guys do remember that we do have a pay-per-view contest going on, and I'll reveal who won this pay-per-view at the end of it. Shocker, wasn't Dizzle J. So we had Daniel Bryan taking on Drew Gulak. I gotta say the match was what I was expecting. There was a lot more to it than what I thought it was.
I thought it was great. Incredible. To me, that was almost match of the night.
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be a kind of squash match. I'm not gonna lie, halfway through it got a little nutty.
Yeah.
All right.
I gotcha.
There we go.
I thought that was probably one of the best technical matches I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, and I think Drew Gulak's character change is benefiting him more than kind of like what he was, like kind of a clean-shaving kind of guy in 205 Live and everything.
And he did that goofy thing with Enzo Amore for a hot minute.
Yeah.
So I like it. I enjoyed the match. It was probably one of my favorite matches of the card.
Yeah. Oh, on here, absolutely. I can think of maybe 3 matches I think are my favorite out of this, and that's definitely one of them. And it was one of those matches that actually made you think that Gulak could pick up the victory against him. He sat there and said he knew all the holes in Daniel Bryan's moveset and like how he could reverse everything, and he really did that all the way into the end, where he ended up losing to the was it the yes lock, the label lock, whoever he calls it. You picked Gulak actually to win this one.
I thought for sure he had a great chance, and like I said, the match went. It was so hard to predict.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Me and Daly picked Daniel Bryan, so
point for you guys.
Point for us. That's right. The next match we had was the U.S. Championship match with Humberto Del Rio taking on Andrade.
Yep.
Also a really good match. Again, one of the three that I really enjoyed.
Yes.
And Andrade picked up the win. I believe it was like a quick small package kind of a roll-up kind of win.
Well, with Zelina Vega, that's always that X factor too.
Yeah, but when you look at the kind of like behind the scenes of it, the shoot reality of it all. Like I honestly thought Humberto was going to pick it up just as like a punishment to Andrade for, obviously his suspension. Taking that title away from him. But obviously they see a lot in him, and they do see a lot in Humberto
Carrillo.
Humberto Carrillo. To give him these opportunities to go against Andrade, and even Angel Garza, is still kind of in that mix as well.
I think that's where like the old school like Rey Mysterio and versus Eddie.
Yep.
And that almost feels the same way because these guys are actually two of them are related. I don't know if they're related to Andrade.
Garza and Humberto.
Garza and Humberto.
Yeah, they're like legit cousins. So Andrade did pick up the win in this one. You and I both picked Humberto, and Daly picked Andrade on this.
Ooh.
So she's kind of creeping ahead there.
Ooh.
The following match was a no disqualification match: AJ Styles versus Aleister Black. And me and Daly talked a little bit about this last week when we did our predictions. She picked AJ Styles, and I went ahead and I picked Aleister Black. You went ahead and picked Aleister Black as well. And I told her, like, Aleister's going to win because, regardless that the OC is going to be out there, The Undertaker's going to make an appearance. I mean, it was a given it was going to happen, and it did. See,
I missed the Undertaker part. I for whatever reason, I think I had to watch off my phone, and I had to go make dinner or something shit like that. So I actually missed the Undertaker part. I came back to Aleister Black win. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
I know I picked him.
It was a good moment because they did a little bit more with the Undertaker Styles thing than they did at Super Showdown.
Good.
So, overall, it was a good match. There were moments where it looked like AJ was going to win. It was getting a little later into the match, and maybe Undertaker's not going to show up. But Aleister Black has not put on a bad match since he came up to the main roster. And I mean, doing these little few things with Murphy and now AJ Styles. There was a moment on Raw that we're going to talk about here in a little bit with Seth Rollins and everything coming to him, knocking on his door and stuff. A lot of cool things with Aleister Black, and this match is really pushing him forward to potentially be another top contender in the business.
I see him as a top contender.
Yeah. Tag team match, who gives a shit? It was Rollins and Murphy versus Street Profits. Street Profits retained the title. All three of us predicted that one.
Yeah. As well they should. I mean, there's no reason for Murphy and Rollins to have the titles.
No.
Unless they were going to do like they did with the Undisputed Era where they just collect the titles, and that would make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
But you would put the titles on AOP, not Buddy and fucking Rollins.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. It just looked like it was a fucking carbon copy of the Raw match.
Yeah.
Nothing too exciting in this. We had the men's Elimination Chamber tag match. We had Miz and Morrison taking on the New Day, taking on the Usos, Heavy Machinery, Lucha House Party, and then Ziggler and Rude. Now, it was reported that the reason Lucha's in there over the Revival is because of our contract dispute. And I actually read online that the Revival isn't getting paid anymore. They reached their guaranteed money cap already this year.
Really?
Yeah. So,
the Revival, they need to go. They're not going to get what they deserve in WWE. And they're one of the best tag teams I've seen in a long time. Right up there with the Usos, the New Day, even better than the Bucks. Yeah. I mean,
we were talking about where we would see the Revival going.
I guess AEW would be obviously the the first choice, but I feel like Impact would benefit more from the revival than AEW would.
I thought more NWA.
Ooh, NWA. Oh, yeah. That's like, kind of a smash
it's like it's like that classic, too. I mean, nothing against AEW when it comes to the tag team division. I just think it's oversaturated with all the tag team talent right now. Yeah. Where you got the Dark Order,
SCU,
the Best Friends, the fucking Inner Circle that tag team in
the Bucks.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's so saturated. Like,
the Butcher, the Blade.
Yeah, if you sit there and think that, and then there was the Jurassic whatever.
The Jurassic Express?
Yeah.
I love the Jurassic Express.
And now they got the, and I think we'll talk about it, I talked about last week, the Death Triangle with Pentagon, Phoenix. So, if you think that the revival is getting lost in the shuffle of all the tag teams on WWE, I don't think it'd be any different than AEW. But because they're all fists, no flips tag team, they focus and they seem like an older tag team, almost like a Tully or like an Arn Anderson kind of.
Honestly, like almost a Road Warriors kind of a little mix of the Rockers, because they can do the off the rope stuff. They can.
Yeah, I consider more of that era, like with the Steiner
they can do
brothers.
The aerial.
Yeah, so,
there you go. That's perfect. Steiner brothers.
Yeah, so that era when it comes to it. So I mean, I think NWA would be a good spot.
NWA would be a good spot. I would love to see NWA get a TV.
Yeah. Let's just send them off to New Japan for a bit. Why the fuck not? Ring of Honor, maybe. You don't hear a whole lot about Ring of Honor, so they put the revival in the Ring of Honor.
If they went to Ring of Honor and you got Bully Ray there, who is obviously a tag team expert, they can only benefit from knowledge from him.
Absolutely. Miz and Morrison picked up the win in this. What was your favorite moment out of this entire Elimination Chamber?
Just going out through the thing,
right? Because we've never seen that before.
No,
I thought Mandy was going to come out. I
did too.
I thought Mandy was going to come out and kind of check on him and everything. One of the big things I also liked, I know I think it's wrong, but Lince Dorado?
Lince Dorado?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he did that flip from the top.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah.
I figured that's why they had those guys in there. Mm-hmm. But I didn't think it was going to be something like that.
Yeah. And it's no secret that Heavy Machinery is my favorite tag team in WWE. But this Elimination Chamber, I fucking marked the shit out of it when Tucker lost his shit after Otis went through, and just dropped him. Obviously, get eliminated by Ziggler and Rude following the kind of beatdown. But these guys are future tag team champions, and I hope it happens soon. And when it does, I hope it's a long-term title run.
They deserve it. I believe they deserve it. First off, they got the power of the WWE Universe behind them. They're very entertaining to watch, and they can go. Yeah,
no, and that little somersault swanton that Tucker did from the top of the chamber. I mean, all in all, it was a really good match. Miz and Morrison did pick up the victory to retain the titles. That seemed like kind of a given, obviously.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, first title defense that they had. We all picked it. So right now we have me and Daly tied at 1 apiece. Not you though. Not you though.
That's all right.
Probably the dumbest match for me was the handicap Intercontinental title match with Strowman taking on Shinsuke Cesaro and Zayn. And the surprise of Zayn actually winning the title was probably the most shocking thing for me to see.
See, and I had talked about this with a guy at work too. It was cool to see Zayn pick up a title, but I just don't like the way he did it.
Yeah,
I would have much rather seen it be a one-on-one match and some dirty shit happen than a 3-on-1 match against Braun Strowman. Now you kind of weaken Braun.
Yeah, well, there was I want to say it was either Michael Cole or Corey Graves on commentating during this match that stated if one pins them, they're all champion. And that's just not the case. Sami Zayn won. Sami Zayn's the IC title, IC champion.
And how does that make Shinsuke feel? You know what I mean?
I don't even think you realize it happened, Jess. He's so fucking out of it. But I got excited to see what's going in the future. I'm going to guess it's going to be a pre-show match against Braun Strowman at WrestleMania. Just because that's what fucking WWE does.
Cena needs a spot, and The Undertaker needs a spot.
Right. Goldberg needs a spot.
Well, at least he's champion.
Brock needs a spot. All these people need spots, man.
I'm not here to take a spot.
we all picked Braun. Obviously, we all got that wrong. And then finally, the Elimination Chamber match for the number one championship to the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania. Natalya took on Liv Morgan, took on Shayna Baszler, took on Asuka, took on Ruby Riott, took on Sarah Logan. Why don't you all go ahead and talk a little bit about this match?
I thought this was a very entertaining match for the most part. To me, and we were just talking before, the timing was off for me. The long waits in between.
Yeah.
I think if it was me, I would have had Shayna just kick down that last door and grab Asuka out by her hair or something. Just if you were really going to overpower Shayna, that would have been the move. Okay, I'm waiting. Let me go after these bitches and bring them out to me.
Yep.
That's how I feel about it. But, I mean, I thought Liv Morgan had a hell of a showing. Ruby Riott had a hell of a showing. Natalya, as much as I am a fan of Natalya, I just think she's getting the short end of the stick with these newer women coming up.
Yeah.
And I would like to see her have one more run at the championship, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think she's kind of like at that point in her career where she's almost used as enhancement.
Yeah.
Like almost like Big Show.
Right.
Like that prime era of like them being dominant is way past now. Right. But I mean, we all predicted Baszler to win. Baszler did win. Wasn't a really complete shock. They were building for it anyways. Right. So overall, me and Daly tied, so we each got a point for it, which still leaves you at 0 for the year.
Man.
And you guys could check the scores on that because I do now post them into the show notes on Podbean to see where everyone's kind of totaled up now. I think I'm 1 up because of the Super Showdown.
That I didn't do.
The one that you didn't do, yeah. And I can't remember what happened to AEW. I want to say me and Daly tied on that one too. But we only had 4 matches because that's what was...
That's what was posted.
Yep. So let's move right along to Raw the following day.
I did not watch any of this.
Oh, God. You missed out.
Did I?
No.
Of course not.
Becky came out, cut a promo, talked about Shayna winning and everything. She's talking about how like a person like her shouldn't be beating down fucking badasses like Shayna Baszler, but she is and she does. Obviously, if you guys remember from last year when she won both Raw and SmackDown titles from
Becky 2 belts.
Becky 2 belts. So, not a really big promo, just kind of talking, building herself up and shit like that. We opened with Angel Garza taking on Rey Mysterio in a singles match. And we saw these guys in tag team with Andrade and Humberto last week. It was an incredible match, and this is no different. Rey did pick up the win on this, which kind of surprised me. You would think, Garza would kind of pick it up to kind of push Garza along, but I guess they still want to keep Rey relevant just for a little bit longer.
I've been hearing rumors that he's going to retire after WrestleMania anyway.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
I would love to see a fate. I don't know if it's mentioned yet. I'd love to see a fatal 4-way between Humberto, Mysterio, Garza, and Andrade. Ooh. I think there's enough time to still build that. A fatal 4-way for the U.S. title between 4 Latino superstars. Fuck yeah.
But they're going to put it on the pre-show.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, they will.
6-hour pre-show.
It'll be right there with the IC title.
Yeah.
Yeah. And probably the SmackDown tag team titles too.
Yeah, because why put them on the main show?
All right. Oh, geez, what else is happening here? They showed a little vignette from earlier in the day where Kevin Owens showed up, got beat down by the Monday Night Messiah and all his disciples. Nothing too special about that. Rhea Ripley came out and interrupted Charlotte while she was doing a segment talking about how she's going to win WrestleMania and be the NXT Women's Champion. When Rhea came out, she wanted to say something. Charlotte interrupted her, and then she got jacked in the mouth by Rhea Ripley, and Rhea just walked away.
That's badass.
It was a cool moment, except for the very end when she got punched in the mouth, Charlotte just kind of sat down on her butt, kind of stared at her and smiled. So, and she was wearing a very low dress. So, I don't know if that was supposed to happen. She wanted to go ahead and just sell it anyways. Because, if she bumped, this zipper would have just fucking split. And she would Daniel Bryan all over the fucking place.
Daniel Bryan.
Right?
Italian.
We would got screwy. We would got nutty. Ballsy move, though. Right. I was gonna throw in a Sentinel joke there, but we were talking about testicles, so it's irrelevant to Sentinel.
Yeah, not butternut squash.
Mm-hmm. Fucking mouth breather.
Get booed out your ring.
Bobby Lashley took on Zack Ryder for no reason whatsoever. Bobby Lashley picked up the win. Aleister Black went to go have one of his own little segments about who's gonna knock on my door. AJ Styles and I are down, blah blah. And it just so happens he gets to knock on his door, and it's Seth Rollins. Not there to fight him, but to ask him to join the Disciples. Clearly, he said no, and it turned into a match for later on in the night. Drew McIntyre took on Eric Rowan, where Drew McIntyre picked up the win. Crushed the cage with the giant spider in it, so that storyline's over.
Oh, thank God.
Kabuki Warriors took on Natty and Liv Morgan. Ruby and Sarah Logan came out to kind of just watch. And there was a moment where Natalia needed to fucking make that tag, need the hot tag. And right before she did, Liv Morgan jumped from the top rope onto Sarah Logan and Ruby Wright. God, I want to fucking mix everyone up. Too many fucking people. Jumped onto them. Obviously, she wasn't available to help out Natalya, who ended up getting beat up and took the loss against the Kabuki Warriors. AJ Styles came out and had a promo about the Undertaker, and he did it. He did it, man. He said Mark Calloway. He dropped the Undertaker's shoot name, the real name, and not only that, he said that the only reason Mark Calloway is still in the business is because he allows his wife to tell him what to do, and she's running him into the ground until he dies. And he uses her real name, Michelle McCool.
Good job, Undertaker.
Yeah. So, needless to say, there was a lot of backlash on this because there was a former referee, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head, that said he didn't like this because the Undertaker is who he is, and there should still be a sense of kayfabe in the business, which I agree 100%. There should be kayfabe in the business. Yes. However, when it comes to this, I like the idea that they use Mark Calloway, and this for one of two reasons. First off, if you guys own the WWE Network, they can get it for $9.99. Stone Cold Steve Austin has an interview show on there that he did his very first shoot interview with The Undertaker, where he refers to The Undertaker as Mark Calloway, saying, I know him as Mark Calloway, but the world knows him as The Undertaker. Now, from that very moment, it should be completely okay for everyone to realize that The Undertaker is not really The Undertaker anymore, but he is Mark Calloway, who plays The Undertaker in WWE.
As long as you do it right. I mean, exactly. Do it.
Yeah, it's not like AJ Styles out there and said, hey, The Undertaker's real name's Mark Calloway, ha! And then took off. Right. No. It was part of a promo. He said, The Undertaker is not The Undertaker anymore. He mentioned the fact that The Undertaker once took off his hat and jacket and gloves and laid it in the ring and walked away, and that was supposed to be the end of him. And yet he's still here. And the only reason he's still doing this is because Michelle McCool is making him do it. She's going to keep pushing him until he's dead in the fucking ring or whatever like that. Undertaker is set to be at Raw this next coming Monday. So,
no, I just don't think he needs to be doing the match. I mean, maybe AJ wants the match with Undertaker, but I just don't think it's poor Undertaker.
They need AJ to face the Undertaker. They don't need an Undertaker match.
No.
But if they do, it needs to be AJ. Or Dolph Ziggler. Somebody who could bump for the Undertaker and still make him look good.
Right.
Following that, we had Riddick Moss, the 24/7 champion, taking on Cedric Alexander, who is, we just talked about him.
Big Swole's husband.
24/7 title is on the line. Riddick Moss picked up the win. I don't know who this guy is or why they're fucking pushing him.
I've never even, before he came up with, what's his face? I don't think I ever heard of him before.
No, but he's 24/7 champion. He beat Ricochet last week, beat Cedric this week and everything, so he's on quite a roll right now.
I don't get it.
Yeah. MVP came out, cut a little promo about Edge, saying that, if Edge is going to come back, he needs somebody in this corner that's going to guide him in the right direction. Edge did make his return after being gone for a month due to the incident that happened between him and Randy Orton.
The incident?
Yeah, we did talk about that last week, and he explaining to Beth Phoenix why he did it right before he RKO'd her in the middle of the ring. Edge came out, demanded Randy to come out to the ring, and all this other stuff. And MVP's like, "See, that's the problem, Edge. You're not focusing on the right things. You're not keeping focus. Speaking on not focusing on the right things, how's your wife?" So Edge fucked MVP up.
I was gonna say, I bet he did.
Randy Orton came out, attacked him from behind. Edge came back, ran Randy off, speared MVP, put him in this modified choke thing, which I'm going to assume he's going to use probably in the future here, and gave MVP not one, but 2 concertos.
What? Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't that Christian and Edge's go-to? Was it concerto? Back in the day?
I almost spilled my drink. What?
Wasn't that...
Yes. Yeah, because they used to do it together.
Yeah.
Until, and I believe this is correct. If I'm not, somebody can correct me. But after Edge won the King of the Ring tournament and Christian betrayed him, is the first time they did the solo concerto.
Ooh.
So, yes. Obviously, Edge went into the back to find Randy Orton. Couldn't find him. He was informed by the backstage interviewer that Randy left. So,
I'm still a huge fan of Randy Orton. I just think
absolutely, and I like how they're working it now. Like, it's not so much he did it because he's a bad guy. He did it for the benefit of Edge himself. The main event obviously was Rollins versus Aleister Black in a singles match. It ended in disqualification when the Disciples attacked Aleister Black. Viking Raiders came out. Street Profits came out to the aid of Aleister Black. And then somebody said, fuck it, let's turn it into an 8-man tag. Don't know what happened to Aleister Black. I guess he wasn't part of the whole thing in the tag. So we had the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders taking on Seth Rollins and Murphy and the AOP. And Aleister just kind of went back to his room, shut the door. I guess wait for another knock. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, I'm getting more soul on the Street Profits now.
Fuck them.
I'm enjoying them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they lost. So Rollins, Murphy, and AOP picked up the win against the Viking Raiders and the Street Profits to end Raw.
Jesus Christ. What are they doing in WWE? What are they doing?
They're not listening to us.
They're not at all.
They're not.
I told someone, I'm like, let me book WrestleMania. I bet it'll be the highest rating. Of course, I'm going to need your help. But it'll be the highest rated WrestleMania of all time.
We can book it together.
Yeah. Just freaking booking.
We'll do that next week. Yeah, we can do that next week. I don't think we got anything going on next week. Yeah, I don't think anything's going on next week.
Book a WrestleMania with the current roster?
Yeah. Yeah. SmackDown, Raw. We can throw in NXT in there.
Oh, we're going to throw in NXT.
Keep the top matches that are already booked and just rebook them.
So keep the same champions.
Yes, just different challengers if needed. I mean, you can keep the same. You can keep some of the matches you think are good matches, and what's pre-show and what's not. The only things I would honestly pre-show would be the Andre the Giant Battle Royal and the Women's Battle Royal, which I do agree with X-Pac. It should be the China Battle Royal.
Oh, that would have been cool. Yeah. Yeah, they should give something to China like that. I mean, whatever. So she shot a porno. Who hasn't?
She didn't sell off wrestlers to fucking promoters and shit. Moolah did. Moolah did. That's why Snickers was pissed.
Alright, so fuck, man, that just got me. I wasn't expecting that.
So AEW.
Impact?
Is Impact on Tuesdays?
Impact's on Tuesdays.
Why do I keep thinking Impact's on Thursdays?
Because it used to be on Thursdays.
Oh.
But they moved to Tuesdays.
Okay.
Now they're on Access TV.
Yeah, go ahead. Impact.
So Impact Wrestling. Start up.
Before we do that.
Yeah, I do it.
Wait, go on now.
I was waiting.
Where have you been? Guys, if you haven't had a chance, check out the merchandise that we have available at TPublic.com just by searching JFW. Merchandise such as the t-shirt that Dizzle J is wearing, or a modification of it. The shirt that he's wearing is an original, never made again, cannot be bought. But the one that can be bought is the one that's right there in front of him. No. It's so weird. What the fuck? Oh, yeah, it's in front of me. It's in front of fucking me.
Yeah, I know.
So this is the one that's available on TeePublic, as well as the new logo, JFW. What, shit, what, fuck, what, damn. As well as the Travesty Dizzle J 2020 shirt that you see right in front of Dizzle J right there, making wrestling great again.
Boom.
And also these mugs that you see right here before you, the original JFW logo mug and the brand new JFW logo mug. But not only that, all these designs and everything that we're wearing that you can see right in front of you, they're not only available on t-shirts and mugs, but also stickers, pins, magnets, got cell phone cases, tapestries, wall art, pillowcases, and stuff like that. If you guys remember last week, Dally's shirt was finally released into the store.
I like Dally's shirt.
A lot of good responses to that. We already sold a couple of those shirts, so guys, and if I know I mentioned this before, and maybe I should mention it more often so you guys get reminded of it. But if you buy any merchandise from our store, take a picture of it. Put the shirt on, take a picture of the merchandise, and post it to our page so we know you did. So not only everyone can see the merchandise that they could buy, but also for us to personally thank you guys for purchasing.
Oh, definitely.
There was a father and two daughters at the past SCW show who came up to us as fans of the podcast. He bought some shirts. I know he did. So thank you for that and helping us out the podcast by doing that.
Continue to sit by us because you guys are entertaining as hell.
Yeah, even though your daughter thinks everyone's a cheater, but hey, whatever. It's cool.
She'll learn to like the bad guys.
Yeah, like Holiday.
Hey, man.
3-time SCW heavyweight champion.
I'll tell you what, I'm starting to come around.
Dude, 3-time heavyweight.
The
3-time heavyweight champion. You can say it. Good.
3-time
SCW heavyweight champion. Max Holiday. Fun fact, if you guys didn't catch it last week, I'll say it again. His 3 title runs was because he beat a member of Elite Pain. Maverick twice.
2 members of Elite Pain.
Yeah, Maverick twice and Hunter Payne.
Yeah.
He beat Hunter Payne. Hunter Payne is former SCW heavyweight champion because of Maverick Cage. Or Max Holiday. Holy shit.
Way to fuck that up.
I can't do this anymore. I called Max Holiday Max Blaylock last week. I'm not going to... I can't do this shit anymore. This is why you need to host this show. You need to take control of the show.
Take control.
You need to take it from me. Me and my fucking advanced age of 30. I'm fucking
37.
My mind is going faster than Hunter Payne's.
Oh,
it is just
work that in, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to.
Yeah, that's good.
But guys, again, TeePublic, TPublic.com. Search JFW, pick up your merchandise today. And if you do have a device on the merchandise, take a picture of it, post it on our social media. Use the hashtag JFW merch. I don't know. And we'll give you a shout out on the podcast.
If you don't want your name out there, because I understand some people don't, send it to us through Snapchat, through Facebook Messenger or something. We'll post it for you if you want to edit out your face or whatever, just to show. Because I know some people are weird about their kids being on Facebook. If they have little kids' pictures.
I don't know. I put that dude's fucking kids on our Facebook page because they took a picture with us.
That was approved.
They know the risks. They know the risk of being famous. I'm not gonna lie. I got time to sit there and get documents signed about, hey, just let you know you're gonna be in the
verbal permission.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Well, hey, now we got fans. Now I know for a fact we have fans. There was somebody who wanted to take pictures with us, and let me tell you, in my 2-3 years of going to SCW, I have never seen anyone ask Sentinel for a fucking photo.
Not
you wanna know why? Because nobody takes pictures with produce.
Butternut squash looking motherfucker.
Fuck. You mouth-breathing fucking gag order.
Can't wait to boo you out of the stage later this month again.
Yeah. You stroke.
God damn it.
You wife robe wearing jackass.
I'm Commissioner Jordan.
Yeah.
You Batman complex motherfucker.
Yeah, bitch.
So why are you guys banned from SCW? I have no idea.
tpublic.com. TEEPUBLIC.com. Search JFW today. Get your merch.
So Impact Wrestling on Tuesday. Man, Impact's starting to feel like the later days of WCW.
Yeah.
Where they're just bringing in all this older talent. First match was...
Fun fact. So I was on WWE Network watching the Hall of Fame. Which WWE Network, $9.99 a month. First month free of pay-per-views. And I was watching I want to say it was the 2012 Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Where they inducted the Four Horsemen.
Okay.
And I gotta tell you, it was pretty interesting to not only see Charlotte Flair there back in 2012, but also Tessa Blanchard.
Well, yeah, because it's...
Yeah, I know. It's just weird seeing them pre-WWE. And obviously Ric Flair's son Reese was there, who R.I.P. to Reese, passed away, I believe actually it was shortly after that. But it was funny because Rick actually called her Ashley on the obviously during the ceremony because Charlotte wasn't a thing at that point.
Right.
But to see her and even Tessa Blanchard, with her natural brown hair and everything like that. I mean, it was really cool to kind of to sit there and watch something from 8 years ago, think holy shit, one day these two girls are sitting right here. One's going to be the Impact Heavyweight Champion, and one's going to be 8 or 9 time WWE Women's Champion. So
top of the game. You're looking at the future right there and there.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool.
It's like when you go back and you actually watch Ambrose when he first made his first appearance as a jobber with the pink hair. And you never remember it until you see that picture. I'm like, I remember him in the ring.
Well, it's like with Ty Dillinger when he was the backstage guy who got super kicked by Shawn Michaels when they said he wasn't controversial enough.
When Triple H pushed the black guy out of the way, the black guy was Keith Lee.
Yeah.
I mean, you just gotta pay attention to this stuff because CM Punk was in the line with John Cena for the one WrestleMania, I believe.
Oh yeah, doing the
yeah.
Oh no, he wasn't. He was
he was on
the car. He was on the car. Yeah, he was on the car with Tommy Gun. Yeah.
So it's just that cool stuff you see. Like
Dolph Ziggler was a caddy for Kerwin White, who was Chavo Guerrero,
and he was a
cheerleader. Yeah.
Husky Harris.
God, the world we live in. You mean Bray?
I love it. That was the biggest character turnaround I think I've ever seen.
Oh,
and it worked out flawless.
Kevin Thorne and Mordecai.
Yeah, that one not so much.
I really like the Mordecai gimmick. I think that could.
The Mordecai gimmick was good.
I think him and that Undertaker WrestleMania match would have been really cool.
Yeah.
But are you gonna do Impact?
Yeah.
Okay,
so let's start off with
for the love of God, do something.
Rhino and Madman Fulton. Rhino picked up the victory.
This with all my talk.
But Sabu.
Who?
Sabu.
No, the first part.
Rhino.
What?
Rhino.
No, I'm just fucking with you. Go ahead.
Rhino defeated Madman Fulton. Sabu makes his return with Super Genie.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Super Genie.
I don't even think I remember Super Genie.
You remember Super Genie?
What I remember?
You remember Super Genie?
Okay. The Rascals defeated Desi Hit Squad. Jordan Grace. She is the Knockouts champion. Defeated Lacey Ryan. Willie Mack, and Ace Austin defeated the Swinging Disco Balls, which is Disco Inferno and Johnny Swinger.
Is Disco Inferno still fighting just women?
No, this is guys.
But his claim to fame for a while was just fighting women.
Right? Yeah.
James Ellsworth did that before he got handsy in the locker rooms, but whatever. I'll say it.
The best of 5.
He ain't gonna come on this show.
He had to pay us.
Yeah. That'd be a lot of fucking merch you better buy.
The best of 5. This, when I read this, I guess maybe it's the best way for these guys to look.
Okay.
But it ended in a no contest. Now, whoever won the best of 5 was going to go on to face the World Heavyweight Champion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so this match ended in no contest, and they're going back and forth. Tessa comes to the ring, says, I'm going to fight both you. So it's going to be a 3-way dance at the next Impact pay-per-view for the Impact.
I don't know how long that's going to go on for. Her Impact title run.
I think this is gonna be done now.
Yeah.
I've talked about it before. I just don't like the idea. I really think it just killed your women's title by doing that. I understand Tesla's fucking a badass and probably can hang with any man in the ring that you can possibly put her in the ring with, including Brian Cage.
Yeah.
It's
outside Brian Cage, Sami Callihan, or Tessa Blanchard, is there anyone on the Impact roster who should be considered run with the title?
I would. Elgin or Eddie Edwards would probably be a good.
Fucking Mike Elgin.
Yeah, that dude's a beast, man.
I believe that's the same guy who wrestled at Elite Pro Wrestling. I think I got a DVD from Elite Pro Wrestling show like 10 years ago with Mike Elgin on there. You'll have to watch it and tell me if it's the same guy. Because I don't watch Impact Wrestling. Because I don't have access to it.
No, you don't have it. You don't have Access TV.
I don't have access to access.
So that was the end of.
How do you call your fucking network Access TV if not everyone has access to it?
It's pretty much all wrestling, dude. It's like wrestling.
That's like putting calendar photo shoots to PG-13 calendars on Pornhub. Why? I love it.
There's advertisements on Pornhub?
Yeah.
Huh? Who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew?
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Yet.
You want to do NXT or AEW first?
Why?
Well, NXT is probably a lot more interesting than anything else WWE's put out.
This one was interesting.
Was it?
So this NXT was shot at the Performance Center.
Not at Full Sail.
No, at the Performance Center, which I'm not sure why. I was going to look up some information on it, but it's irrelevant on why they did it. There's really no reason to sit there and try to figure out why they did it, other than maybe for the fact the whole coronavirus thing that's going on. And we'll talk a little bit about that here in a little bit. But basically, like where all the rings are set up and they do all the practices and everything, from the looks of it, they tore it all down, but one ring set up the stage, commentating, and chairs for people to come in and sit. So Keith Lee took on Cameron Grimes as the opening match for the North American title. Fucking boring to start out.
Really?
It was really fucking boring. It almost it reminded me of, remember when you did your pick of the week with the Goldberg, William Regal match?
Yeah.
Very similar. It almost seemed like Keith Lee didn't want to sell anything for Cameron Grimes.
Oh.
So it was kind of like, it was really boring, very slow to start out. Keith Lee did end up picking up the victory. I mean, there was a point where somebody actually chanted boring at a match, and I don't recall the last time anyone ever chanted boring at an NXT show.
Yeah.
Following that, Damian Priest came out, attacked Keith Lee from behind with the pipe. Dominic came out to save the day and picked up the North American title, went to go help Keith Lee up. Keith Lee, who I'm assuming either was pissed that Dominic picked his title up or assumed Dominic attacked him from behind. So he powerbombed him and walked out. Not a heel turn, just just Keith Lee,
keeping him in check.
Yeah, protecting his shit.
Don't touch my time.
That's right. Don't pee where he peed. Fuck it. If you guys also remember from last week and everything, it was announced that there's going to be a I think it's a 5-way or a 6-way ladder match for number one contendership for the NXT Championship at NXT TakeOver Tampa. Ooh. So ladder match. 5 women are available. Chelsea Green won the first slot last week. The next one was Mia Yim taking on Dakota Kai with her associate Raquel Gonzalez out there with her. Mia Yim picked up the victory against Dakota Kai, so she would advance, which I'm really happy for because Mia Yim has a history of ladder matches, and I think she can get a little more extreme than Dakota Kai can. So I'm really excited for that to move forward.
Not a huge fan of Dakota Kai.
Yeah. Kushida took on Raul Mendoza, which I don't know too much about New Japan Pro Wrestling, but Kushida was a pretty big deal. And,
Kushida's a badass.
Yeah. So I don't know what the fuck they're doing to him in NXT, dressing him up like Doc from Back to the Future or fucking Marty McFly from Back to the Future. Or the fact that he resembles anybody from Back to the fucking Future. That's a real thing.
Well, him and...
It's a real thing. He looks like Marty McFucking-Fly.
Yeah, well, him and Alex Shelley were the... what the hell were their tag team?
Yeah.
It was something Future or something like that. So it kind of fits.
No.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Yeah. I think it's dumb. I'm done.
You're done?
No, I'm not. Kushida picked up the victory. Armbar submission tap out by Raul Mendoza. And if you think that was the last time we see Raul Mendoza tonight, you'd be mistaken, brother. Following the commercial break, they came back. Mia Yim's out in the parking lot, all excited about her victory with Raul Mendoza walking right past her, just to have a fucking SUV pull up right beside him with two fucking Nacho Libre looking motherfuckers popping out of there, grabbing him, throwing him in the blazer, and taking off. That's right, he got kidnapped by luchas. By fucking luchas, man.
That'd be scary.
It's dumb.
There hasn't been a good kidnap storyline.
Yeah, I think the last great one was when the Undertaker was driving the limo and Teddy Long got in. It's like, driver, let's go. And the fucking window rolls down and the Undertaker turns around and is like, buckle up, Teddy. Fucking drives out.
Buckle up, Teddy.
I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the most fun I had doing a podcast in a while. Alright. Tegan Knox and, oh god, I'm gonna say this name wrong. Diana Purrazzo. Another qualifying match for the ladder match on the World Contendership match at Portland. Tegan Knox picked up the victory. Way to go, fucking Tegan. Love the Shining Wizard. Probably one of the better Shining Wizards we've seen in a while.
She's got a good Shining Wizard.
Yeah. You know who also has a good Shining Wizard? James Creed.
He does.
He's a pretty good Shining Wizard. It's no elbow drop. It's a good Shining Wizard.
His elbow drop's nice.
It's a really nice elbow drop. Oh, God. What the hell am I doing? UE took on the Broserweights for the NXT Tag Team Championship. And obviously, before the Broserweights came out, Velveteen Dream showed up on this little fucking stage area above the announcers. Because they actually set that thing back up, too. Because you know it's at the... Yeah, so they set that back up again. Again, guys, remember, this is all at the Performance Center. And he sat there and said, like, he has no interest in Roderick Strong. And he's all like, Roddy, what are you all mad for? They're just tights with pictures, whatever, chill out. But what he wants is the NXT Heavyweight Championship. And then Adam Cole's like, Roddy, let's go take care of this. And before he does, like, whatever the fuck he said, I don't know what the hell he did. Then he snapped his fingers and the Broserweights came out like he can magically make the Broserweights fucking poof. Which if he could, I would love for him to magically poof him the fuck away.
Yeah, I love the Broserweights.
They're dumb. All in all, it was a really good match. The Broserweights picked up the victory. They ended up winning and everything. And to close out the show, Ciampa came out and he wants some answers from Gargano. Want to know why he did it? And Gargano just flat out told him, you hold me back. You're the reason that this happens. I didn't forget what you did to me a couple years ago. Blah, blah, bullshit. And he didn't come out to the ring. He sat in the back in some conference room that Ciampa went back to get him. Tore the shit out of the Performance Center just to end up getting Ciampa's finishing move from that fucking stage area down through the announcer's table to close out the show. Wow. So if you ever get a chance,
I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
It's on the Diver.
It's on the Diver.
Okay. All right, AEW Dynamite opens up with Shivani.
So before we get to that,
I do it.
Come on. All right. You should really ask.
I'm not going to ask first. It's so much more fun to get interrupted.
Oh, God, I don't know what to interrupt you with now. Fuck it. Guys, make sure you check out patreon.com /JFW podcast to sign up for one of our patron tiers that we have available for you guys. Anything from $1 to $15 is available for you guys to sign up for. It's a monthly payment to us to help us build and grow the podcast. And with that monthly payment that you contribute to the podcast, you get additional content that you don't get here on the show. We do, however, get shout-outs to the patrons that we do here, such as Becca and Brandy, who have been patrons since the beginning. So, again, thank you guys for being part of that. Make sure you go to patreon.com. That's patreon.com /JFW podcast. again, tiers from $1 down to $15, and every single tier, as more you pay, the more you get and everything. There's additional additional podcast content available for there, such as watch-alongs and shoot interviews that we're going to look to be doing here in the future, as well as some like Dark Side of the Ring type podcasts that we're also going to look into doing. You can be a GM for the month, where you get to pick one podcast out of the year. We schedule you, but you get to control the podcast and what we do with it, and that's your baby. And who knows? Maybe we'll throw some. I think there's a couple ideas on some other stuff we're going to throw in there too. I do want to have kind of like a sit down Skype interview with like any potential fans. Kind of want to sit and talk with us for a little bit. We could do that.
Like a round table.
Yeah, kind of like that. So, a lot of stuff to offer to you guys that we're willing to do for you. All you gotta do is go to patreon.com/JFW podcast today. Check out the tiers and sign up for it.
Nicely done. Okay. So AEW Dynamite.
Also, guys.
Yeah, fucker.
This is your last result, so I don't know when I can be able to say this again. If you guys haven't noticed, this mug I've been drinking out of, it's a Freaknut Studios mug.
Freaknut
Studios. Jay, talk about Freaknut Studios.
Freaknut Studios is a combination of 3 podcasts.
It's a collaboration.
What did I say?
Combination. We're not merged together. We're together. It's a collab.
We're a collaboration.
Thank you.
Of 3 podcasts. Just Freakin' Wrestling, This Freakin' Show, and Doug Gray Area. All talking about different kinds of stuff coming together as the Studio Bros. And which you'll see video content that they have already put out.
That's right, we did.
Yet to be part of because scheduling.
That's right. You missed out on burgers.
I did.
Guys, if you haven't had a chance, we do have a YouTube channel, Freaknet Studios. Make sure you go subscribe and hit the notification bell for those. We put out a show a couple weeks ago where we did a hot sauce challenge / ranking of Mexican and American hot sauces. This past week, we put out a video of us ranking franchise-type cheeseburgers that we got in the area.
I didn't watch it.
Cheeseburger?
Yeah.
You should watch it.
I'm going to watch it.
Part of Freakin' Studios.
Yeah.
Why would I tell you on camera when I don't want to tell them?
Right.
And also, make sure you check out this coming episode that we're going to put out this week, where we ranked 10 different popular sodas.
Ooh.
The winner will surprise you. Because it surprised us, too. But yeah, no, make sure you check out Freaknet Studios on YouTube. Again, subscribe to it, hit the notification bell, and check out the videos that we're doing. We're going to come up with more ideas and stuff as time goes on when it comes to what we're going to do as far as the network. But JFW also has their own page on YouTube. It's just Freakin' Wrestling. Make sure you search that, subscribe to that. Because that's where you find the video podcast that we're doing of the audio that you're listening to if you haven't found the video. Excuse me, yet. So, yeah, I'm good.
You good? I'm good. And AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday opens up with...
Real quick. No, I'm just
opens up with Tony Schiavone interviewing Hangman Adam Page. Mm-hmm. Later in the night, there's supposed to be a tag team match between Page and Inner Circle. Page is looking for a tag team partner. The Young Bucks are there, so they're assuming that they're going to be it. Page tells them, nope, not you guys. Got to be somebody I trust.
Yep.
So then we move into Cody versus Ortiz is the first match. Lance Archer comes to the side of the ring and sits down with Jake the Snake Roberts, which distracts Cody, but all in all, Cody picks up the win with using submission, the figure 4 leg lock. Not a fan of everybody using it. Get something new. Something different.
The figure 4 leg lock and the sharpshooter, I'm kind of... Unless you're Natalia.
Yeah.
I'm fine with Natalia using it.
Well, it fits for Natalia.
Yeah. Charlotte Flair and Natalia should be the only ones using the figure 4 leg lock and the sharpshooter. Everyone else, there's so many different opportunities for other submissions out there.
Create a new one. After the match, Inner Circle appears on the screen. They beat down Nick Jackson, trapped him under a garage door. They run back to help him out, blah, blah, blah. Next match is Nyla Rose and Bea Priestley versus Chris Statlander and Shida. Rose picks up the win. Match went back and forth. There was a couple spots missed during this match. Yeah. A pretty big one probably would have been nice to see if it actually went through, but it didn't.
Well, and I think that's a big thing, like when it comes to AEW, which there's no secret I'm not a fan of AEW.
Right.
But it's just like we've talked about it. It's like it seems like it's nothing but high spots, but when they do it, it's either a reversal or they don't do it right and it kind of gets goofy.
And we talked about it before, where I have a problem with the no sell spot.
Yeah,
I do not like that. Don't bounce right back up and then jump into 15 people. Yeah, play it off a little bit. Climb a little slower, something, please.
Yeah, it's just like they need to work on that, but also like I think you mentioned it earlier before the recording. Like they don't follow too much storylines. They talk about it for a minute, but it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. It's like a legit like tune in next week to when we figure this out. It's like do something now about it that draws me to come back next week.
And I think another thing I said is that they don't tell a story with their wrestling either. Yeah, it's like spot. You know, there's no wearing the person down or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But to me, it wasn't a very good show this time around. Not like I said, Nyla Rose picks up the win, and then her partner beats her down. So,
when you're the women's champion, you have no friends.
Yeah. The next up was a 6-man tag team match: the Butcher, the Blade, and MJF versus Jurassic Express. I do enjoy Jurassic Express. Not a big fan of the logo.
Who's which one's Pillman's son? Is that Jungle Boy? No, is that Jungle Boy?
No. That's not Pillman.
That's not Pillman's son. Is Pillman's
That's
son
Luke Perry's son?
Okay, so Pillman's son
is Brian Pillman Jr.
Okay, but he's not in AEW.
No.
So Jungle Boy is Luke Perry's son.
Yeah.
Okay.
From 90210.
Gotcha.
I'm sure he did other stuff too, but
that's what he's known for.
Yeah. He was actually, he was in the original Buffy movie too.
Okay.
MJF taps out Marco for the win. The worst part of the goddamn show for me was Britt Baker gets interviewed by Shivani. The whole part was boring until Big Swole came out. Big Swole comes out and they talk some shit. And Baker tells her, he's like, nobody's worried about your boyfriend. And Swole holds up her ring and she's like, I'm married, baby. Which I thought was probably the greatest thing I've seen.
Yeah, it's been a while since I heard an Austin Powers reference.
Yeah, Austin Powers. Baker throws a coffee.
If you're not a wrestling fan, you don't understand that fucking humor there. I don't even know why you're listening to this fucking podcast.
Right? Yeah. Baker throws coffee in her face and runs off. So obviously something's going to happen there. Joey Janela and Private Party take on Death Triangle, which is Phoenix, Pentagon, and Pac. Pac hits Black Arrow on Janela for the pinfall victory.
What's your thoughts on the Death Triangle?
I think this is the first time I didn't. So I saw
not them working as a tag team, but them together.
I think it's kind of neat.
I don't know.
It would make more sense if Pac was a masked wrestler.
I think it would make more sense if it was anyone but Pac. I like Pac as an individual.
I think it makes more sense for the bastard to be a loner.
Yeah.
Jim Ross interviews Moxley. Moxley basically tells Inner Circle they need to watch out for him because you're not paying attention to him, and blah, blah, blah. I think Mox is probably the best thing AEW's got going on for them. The main event. Oh.
Yes, I agree.
The Inner Circle versus Paige and Dustin.
But I mentioned this last week. I don't like the whole Cena-esque promo that he did last week. Or even like when he won the titles. Like, this is our title. This title is for you, the fans, and shit like that. I'm not a big fan of that.
I'm not a big fan of those promos altogether.
Yeah, but I don't like that Moxley did it.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
So, other than that, Moxley deserves to be the top guy in AEW. Him, Pac, Hangman Page. I guess not Hangman Page, but him and Pac, I think, could benefit being the top guys. Cody, for some reason, I think buries himself too much. I don't know if that's kind of a way of saying, like, hey, just because I'm the executive of the company doesn't mean I'm putting myself over.
I'd like to see Omega, too.
Yeah, but see, even Omega's tag team champion, fucking Young Bucks aren't tag team champions. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, like, what they're trying to do or trying to prove a point. Like, we're not going to put ourselves over because as soon as we do, people are going to assume we're doing it because we're executives and shit. So let's bury ourselves just enough to when we do, it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
But anyways, go ahead. Yeah, the main event I fucking loved.
Yeah, the main event. I didn't actually get to see this, and I'm disappointed because I love Sammy and Jericho when they worked together.
Yeah, well, and my favorite part of this was before when the pre-main event promo that Dusty did.
Yeah, Dustin demanded to be Paige's
partner.
Yeah,
he said, like, let's do some cowboy shit.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it. The natural Dustin Rhodes.
Dustin is probably in the prime. Like, I know the prime of his career was not now, but he's in the best shape of his life, putting on some of the best matches I've ever seen.
Let's go DDP Yoga.
There you go.
Not sponsored.
Yet. Paige and Dustin end up picking up the win, and then their inner circle beats everybody down.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't like that when Kenny Omega came out and was hitting people with his broken hand. It didn't affect him, but as soon as somebody kicked him in the broken hand, it affected him. That didn't make sense to me.
That's that New Japan style.
Yeah, dumb.
Good job, Kenny.
Okay. Crushing it.
I love that dragon suplex, though.
Yes.
That dragon suplex is... I don't know how you don't hurt somebody with it, but that was the end of the show. Mm-hmm. So, I think they have a lot of work they still have to do, but I think eventually they'll get there.
Yeah. I'll agree with you to some extent. Smackdown this week was broadcasted to, again, the Performance Center. So just like NXT, this was at the Performance Center.
And they were originally supposed to be in Detroit.
Yeah, but this is an empty stadium. No fans. And at the commentating table, we had Michael Cole and Triple H. And I gotta say, I fucking love those guys together. Because all they did is talk about the shit 25 years ago when Triple H and DX used to fucking around with Michael Cole and stuff. So they brought that up all the time. So, it was announced that John Cena, Jeff Hardy, and Paige were all going to be at this show and everything. And unfortunately, Paige couldn't make it. There's some travel issues. Not sure what. Maybe there's something in her eye. Bayley and Sasha came out and just mocked, the fact that Paige wasn't there. It's like, where's Paige? Paige's supposed to be here. Why isn't Paige here? Well, we don't need Paige because we're the reason NXT is a thing. We put it on the map and blah, blah. And then Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross came out, told them to shut up. Awesome. Boom, tag team match. Bayley and Sasha won thanks to Asuka interfering and pulling Alexa Bliss off the ropes and causing Nikki to go at it alone. And the only reason Asuka came out and did it is because Alexa flat out said, last week, tag team titles supposed to be defended on both shows. Why aren't you on SmackDown enough? So. Also, I noticed that this tag team match that they, so the way they set it up, because normally, when you look at the hard camera, you had one tag team on the front right corner and then the back left. Right. It was opposite this time. It was the front left corner and the back right corner. Excuse me. And I gotta say, I actually liked that a lot better.
Really?
I don't know if it's because it was different, but just how everything was set up, it actually looked a little bit cooler. So I hope actually they go forward with that a little bit more, but I don't know. I don't know the reasoning and why, because even when we watch, even when we go to SCW, it's the same way. If the hard camera was to be to the right of the entrance, then you got the front right and the back left. So I don't know. That's something maybe we could ask some of our wrestling buddies in the business, and kind of find out from there. Because now I'm kind of curious about it.
I am kind of curious though. That's different.
Yeah. Roman Reigns had an interview. Michael asked him probably the biggest question that everyone was wondering is why do you feel entitled to have a main event match at WrestleMania? And Roman flat out said, I earned it. Said if I'm main eventing live shows and I'm main eventing live TV and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I bust my ass to get better to be back as quick as possible to do this, that, and the other thing. Why not put me in the main event of WrestleMania? It almost kind of felt shooty, which I was kind of cool with. It's a lot better than Roman Reigns saying this is my yard, I'm the big dog, and it
sounds heely.
Yeah, so I'm okay with that.
I would like to see a heel Roman Reigns.
Yeah, he called Goldberg a part-timer and probably too dumb to control and operate a fucking bulldozer. So because he's from Georgia, So he probably lost his Georgia fan base. We love Georgia. Not so much Canada.
Canada doesn't love us.
Canada does not like us.
We like Georgia.
Yeah. Sami Zayn showed up in the back next to the interviewee. I wish I remember. I want to say it's Charlie Caruso, but it's not Charlie. I think she left. But Sammy's like, oh, you want to interview us? And she's like, no, sorry, Sammy, you got bumped. I have a different interview. And Sammy's like, that's okay. I'm way too excited to care. And then left. And then boom, Jeff Hardy shows up in the fucking frame. And Jeff Hardy made his return back to Smackdown. And Corbin came out and said, a lot of things have changed. You know, shouldn't you be off doing your alphabet backwards or walking a straight line or touching your finger to your nose and shit? And Jeff Hardy said, no, I'm not doing any of that. I'm actually facing you later on tonight. So, good segue. Oh, God.
So Jeff comes back as Matt's on his way out.
Yeah. I think Jeff's on the extension.
Yeah, because probably nobody else wants to deal with this shit.
Right? Yeah, he probably did while he was in prison. There was a segment back where Drew Gulak and Daniel Bryan had a lot of segments in this. There was a lot more talking than anything. There was only 3 matches on this show.
For a 2-hour show?
4 if you count the replay of the Elimination Chamber tag match, but yeah. So Daniel found Drew in the back and everything, and he agreed with Drew. He's like, listen, you said there were holes in my moveset, and you're right, and you found them. You found the flaws. Let me work with you. And Sami Zayn walked up with Cesaro, and Shinsuke is all like, hey, look, you know, we wanted you to join us, and I'm the Intercontinental Champion, and you're hanging out with a fucking nobody. And then Daniel wanted to fucking challenge Sami, and Cesaro was like, you got a problem with him, you got a problem with me. Do what the fuck he does. And
that's exactly what he does.
Uppercuts. I don't fucking know. So obviously there was a singles match between Daniel Bryan and Cesaro, which great match. I mean, great competitors all around. Gulak came out to the ring with Daniel Bryan, and then obviously Cesaro had Shinsuke and Sami Zayn in his corner. Daniel Bryan won with a roll-up, got attacked following the match. Mojo Rawley was at commentating, confirming that Gronk is going to be at SmackDown next week after agreeing to come to the WWE. Nothing has been signed and official yet, but it's going to happen.
Jesus.
Right. Also, for about 45 minutes of this show, they just replayed the Tag Team Elimination Chamber match. So
that's the match they chose to replay?
Yeah.
Of all their archives matches they chose.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. When that was all done, Mrs. Morrison was in the ring, and they're talking about how, like, they're great guys and how, you know, they can't be stopped, and, you know, they're awesome, and, you know, wind blowing in slow motion, stupid shit. Final match of the night, Jeff Hardy and Baron Corbin had a singles match. Jeff Hardy introduced a new finisher called the Twist of Fury. So, yeah, that's the thing now. It's basically a swinging neck breaker. And Swanton Bomb, boom, picked a win. Closing out the show, we saw John Cena come out and sit down like Cole. He's like, you know, it's like, why would you antagonize, you know, Bray Wyatt and everything? He's like, Bray Wyatt just said I'm burying him, just like everyone else says I'm burying him, because everyone don't want stuff for themselves. He's like, well, you know what? At WrestleMania, I am going to bury him. I'm going to get rid of somebody who's overhyped and who's getting way too much fucking face time, you know? And the Fiend, or not the Fiend, but Bray Wyatt himself came out. Got rolled over the fucking guard, the fucking it's the fucking
the guardrail?
The guardrail, yeah. Which I don't know what had a guardrail up there. It wasn't like there's any fucking fans there. But he gets in the ring, he starts talking to John Cena, and he says that John Cena has an illness, that he's addicted to the spotlight and the fans and all that other stuff, and he has no problem doing what he always does, and that's burying people and all this shit. And it's weird because as he's doing the promo, he's just looking down and pacing back and forth, not really looking at Cena until the very end, which is like, let me in, and then it just goes to dark and shit like that. SmackDown ended.
So if the Fiend beats Cena, does he turn back into Dr. Thugonomics?
I hope Cena beats him and he turns into the Dr.
Bray Wyatt comes out for life.
Oh, God. Jay, what's your holy shit, who gives a shit of the week?
Holy shit, Jake the Snake is Lance Archer's manager.
Okay. Mine is the empty stadium for SmackDown. I'm always a little hesitant when I do shit like that because I have done it once before. But regardless of the Elimination Chamber replay, it was actually a pretty good show. You had some decent interviews and, a couple decent backstage segments and obviously some good matches. So, it worked. It was pretty cool how it fucking worked, so I'm okay with it. They pulled it off. They didn't cancel it. And I'm excited to see what they do for Raw because I don't think this is going to change anytime soon, but...
See, and like with mine, I like, if you're going to bring these older guys back, don't put them in the ring. Use them as a manager, as, not a valet, I guess, but someone that can give them, the younger guys, the insight into the business, and I think it's neat.
What we got now? You got Cody with Arn.
Yep.
You got, not Ty Dillinger, also, what's his name, Spears? Spears with Tully. And now you got Jake with Lance.
I know one gives a shit is Britt Baker.
That promo.
That promo was
lackluster. My who gives a shit was just the segment that they introduced Lance in. Not so much that he was the guy. I think everyone was hoping it was Luke Harper. But clearly it's not. They made the reveal of who it is. I just wish they did more with his introduction to the business.
I guess Luke Harper would have made a little more sense.
Yeah.
That backwoods kind of...
Yeah. Unless it comes in as kind of like a tag team thing, I think that would be cool if they made like a snake faction called the Snake Pit.
Ooh.
Right. See if AEW listens like he does and steals their shit. No, but it was really cool that Lance Archer being the guy. I'm just not a big fan of how they did it. It was just very lackluster. They're just sitting there in the fucking front row, and he throws a leg over like he's going to involve himself, and Jay's like, whoa, no, let's just leave. Yeah, nobody has left, so it was very lackluster. Again, no secret, I'm not a huge fan of AEW, and this is one of the reasons why. Cage match a couple weeks ago was actually pretty fun cool. I will give them that. That cage match was really cool. I'm really excited for the War Games match that they're going to do. I believe it's either next week or a couple weeks from now.
What are they calling it?
Blood and Guts.
Nice.
Yeah. I doubt anyone's guts going to show. It's like Friday the 13th being PG on TV.
They get Sabu to come over.
No, I think
I'll do it.
No, they already got the teams.
Really?
Inner Circle versus the Elite. I think it's Hagar, Sammy, Jericho, and then the two Hispanic dudes. Is that LAX from Impact?
Yeah.
Okay.
The new LAX.
Yeah, so it's them, and then it's Cody, the Bucks, Omega, and Paige. So, yeah.
Now what?
Well, you could do your pick of the week, or we could talk about. No. What do you want to do? Do you want to talk about the coronavirus a little bit?
I guess we could.
Cool. Just
overhyped. What?
Yeah, right. Guys, you do know I co-host this freaking show. It's another podcast I do where we talk about wrestling here. I talk about everything else about wrestling over there. And one of the biggest things we talked about this week was the coronavirus and how it affected a lot of things in this, not only in this country, but in the world, and how a lot of things are being canceled. As you can see, it affected not only NXT, but SmackDown with the way they set up their shows this past week with NXT being recorded or being taped or being presented to you from the Performance Center with a small limited crowd. SmackDown being an empty stadium at the Performance Center, and I'm going to assume Raw is going to be the same way. There's been a lot of rumors and speculations about what's going on with WrestleMania because Florida is one of those key states that's having a huge effect from the coronavirus where state officials are looking to shut down the entire fucking state. As of right now, the Hall of Fame, SmackDown, NXT TakeOver, Tampa, WrestleMania, and Raw are all scheduled to go on as planned. But there is a possibility that if WrestleMania does get canceled, it could be rescheduled into June. I believe that's what I read. Somewhere in June or July, because there hasn't been a June pay-per-view scheduled yet.
Well, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Now, you believe, and I do agree with you as well, is that this is blown way out of proportion. I don't think it is a bad thing. I'm not saying
I'm not saying don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
Okay? It's just the way everybody's going about beating people up over toilet paper and shit like this that's going on. Follow your warning signs. Do what the CDC tells you to do. Go in, get tested. If you have any of these signs, do that. That's fine. Quarantine yourself, whatever you got to do.
Yeah. Wash your fucking hands.
Yeah.
Just wash your fucking hands. But no, what's your thoughts on what happened with NXT, what happened with SmackDown, and what the possibility of WrestleMania being canceled? Because we already know all the other sporting events are suspended. Basketball, hockey, and baseball soccer even, they're all being pushed off. Fucking golf.
I don't think XFL though.
No, fuck no. This needs that shit to work.
It's actually doing really good this time around.
Now they're. I know the one thing with the XFL is those West Coast stadiums that they use. They want to find alternatives because there's I want to say there's a game. It might have been the game this week or whatever next week's game is in California that WWE said that they're going to put it on as long as the owners of the stadium still go with it. So it's up to the discretion of the stadium owner. So.
I mean, it would be a huge hit to WWE not to have WrestleMania on, and then that begs the question. So if you don't do WrestleMania in April, how do you carry all these storylines to June? And do you still have the same matches in June that you would in April?
It'd be fucking.
Because some of these storylines I don't feel will last another 2 months.
Baszler and Becky wouldn't. Undertaker and Styles wouldn't. Brock and Roman wouldn't. Or Goldberg and Roman wouldn't. Brock and they just want like. Realistically, what they would have to do is they would have to put these matches on over the course of the next couple weeks in like main event spots on Raw and SmackDown and NXT, and have a different complete fucking WrestleMania.
I don't know if that would kill WWE. I know there's a lot of money invested into it. I do know that a lot of people come from overseas for WrestleMania. It's a huge. It's bigger than Comic-Con weekend.
Yeah, and you're looking at WWE Access and everything, where all these kids and people from all ages are going to have access to superstars and other fucking fans and everything. And
also when WWE does their WrestleMania weekend, there's also I'm going to call it Wrestling Con, because I don't know the official name, but Wrestling Con is held the same weekend where you have Ring of Honor come in, you have Impact, you have, it used to be Lucha Underground. Mm-hmm. I don't know if AEW is going to be there, but you'd have those guys come in and do like a super show Saturday night before or after TakeOver. Just so it's just a full weekend of wrestling and family fun all together. Will it kill the WWE? No. WWE, will they lose a lot of money? Fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They'll lose a shit ton of money.
Yep.
And my whole thing is, what do you do if you have to move that event? It's going to be hard to carry these storylines. It's going to be hard even for me as a wrestling fan to want to see those matches. It's already hard enough for me to want to see these matches anyway.
Yeah. For
the most part. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how you would carry that over to June. I could see May. I could see going to May. And maybe kind of...
Which was a month.
Or maybe even a month. Later in April.
Yeah. You could probably drag it out for 4 weeks if you do it right. But when you're looking at 8 weeks now, that's just way too difficult. Because there have been some great storylines that don't even make it that far.
Yeah.
And they're not done making the card for WrestleMania.
Well, they should just make WWE masks. Hand them out. Some WWE hand sanitizer. Roll toilet paper.
What's your pick of the week, Jay? What's your pick of the week?
I went Lance Archer versus Evil at Climax 29. So if you're not familiar with Lance Archer or Evil, because they are New Japan guys, Lance Archer is formerly Lance Hoyt, and I believe that was Impact Wrestling that he was in. He might have been in WWE just maybe a hot minute.
Mm-hmm.
But check him out. The guy moves like a lucha. It's crazy to watch these big ass dudes do what these guys do, what the little guys do. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Hit me up. If you have a match you want me to check out, hit me up via the Facebook. And then I'll post later tonight.
All right. Well, you just bored me, that's all.
Oh, I did?
No, you didn't. I just want to put it in for guys, just a reminder that SCW is having a show March 28th at the Shaban Civic Center. It is for MS.
Mayhem.
Match card and everything to come. Obviously, we got a couple of weeks for us here. Surprising thing is AARW had a couple of shows lined up for this month and they've been canceled.
I know they've been canceling anything. 100% anything over 1,000 people is canceled.
Yeah.
School is canceled for the next 2 weeks. I know my kid goes to school on Monday to get whatever they fucking have to get, and then they're not back in school until April.
Yeah. And, well, they even, the fucking River Dine they canceled in Chicago.
Yeah? They canceled the whole St. Patty's Day celebration.
Yeah. So we'll have a match card. We'll keep you updated on SCW on if it happens or not. I'm hoping it does. Like I said, ARW had a show this week and next week scheduled. Neither one is happening as of yet, so we'll see what SCW does. If it does, obviously, tickets are pre-sale for $10 at Glassworks, Genesis Martial Arts, and Fit Body U, or $12 at the door. Tickets, doors open at 6, bell times at 7. Guys, make sure you do follow Just Freakin' Wrestling, the JFW Podcast, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, just by searching JFW Podcast. And this show does get released every single week to you wrestling fans on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Podbean, and YouTube, just by searching Just Freakin' Wrestling. That's all I got.
Time to ring the bell on this episode.
Perfect, as always, I am Travis C.
I'm Dizzle J.
And thank you for listening to another episode of Just Freakin' Wrestling, the JFW Podcast.
Peace.